Hey there, flock. Pistachio here, your friendly, feathery guide to all things literary. Today, we're diving into the enchanted world of the golden age of children's literature. Specifically, I want to ask you all a question. Why do these old tales stick with us? And how are they still so exciting and relevant everywhere? Well, fluff up your feathers and get cozy, because we're about to find out. Back in the late 19th century, authors began writing for children in a new way. They created worlds full of adventure and magic, but they didn't shy away from complex themes like loss, growth, and resilience. These stories were often a little quirky, a little dark, and deeply imaginative. They trusted children to grapple with big emotions, to think, and to wonder. And the kids? They loved it. Many of today's popular children's books echo the spirit and style of the Golden Age classics. Take, for instance, The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. It's a modern story about a robot stranded on an island, but it explores themes of survival, friendship, and what it means to be alive in a way that feels timeless. In a sense, The Wild Robot does for today's kids what The Jungle Book did for readers in the 1890s. Then there's Coraline by Neil Gaiman, which feels like it could be a long-lost sibling of Alice's adventures in Wonderland. Much like Alice, Coraline is a young girl who ventures into a strange, twisted world that reflects her own fears and dreams. Gaiman even said he was inspired by classic children's books when writing Coraline. It has that eerie charm, where the line between fun and frightening is beautifully blurred, another hallmark of Golden Age storytelling. Golden Age stories aren't just confined to the page anymore. They've been adapted into movies, TV shows, and even video games, allowing new generations to experience these tales in ways that suit their modern lives. Take Peter Pan. Since J.M. Barrie's play and novel in the early 1900s, Peter Pan has been reimagined countless times. Disney's animated classic from 1953 is probably the most famous, but recent adaptations like Wendy 2020 offer a grittier, more realistic take on the Neverland adventure. Each adaptation reinterprets the story's core themes: freedom, fear of growing up, and the power of imagination, while updating the setting, tone, or even the character dynamics to feel fresh for a contemporary audience. And what about Alice in Wonderland? There's Disney's animated version, Tim Burton's live-action remake, and even video games like Alice, Madness Returns, a dark, psychological interpretation of Wonderland. Each adaptation keeps the magic and surrealism of the original, but spins it in a way that resonates with a new generation. These adaptations don't just keep old stories alive, they open up pathways for kids and adults to explore classic literature. A child who loves the Disney version of Peter Pan might pick up the original book, and suddenly they're reading something written over 100 years ago. It's a powerful bridge between generations. In a modern educational context, teachers can pair these classic stories with creative activities. For instance, after reading Alice in Wonderland, students might write their own Wonderland adventure, inventing characters and settings that reflect their own world. This not only strengthens their writing skills, but also helps them practice emotional intelligence by exploring themes of identity and resilience. Moreover, Golden Age literature can also be a great tool for social and emotional learning, SEL. Books like Anne of Green Gables introduce readers to characters who experience loneliness, kindness, anger, and forgiveness. Teachers can use these stories to facilitate discussions about friendship, empathy, and dealing with emotions, skills that are as essential now as they were a century ago. Many modern authors and creators are keeping these values alive, blending the fantastical with the relatable, just like those Golden Age writers did. So, the next time you see a new children's book that feels a bit like The Secret Garden, or a movie that reminds you of Peter Pan, remember that it's not just nostalgia at work. It's a continuation of a tradition, a testament to how these old stories still have something valuable to say. The Golden Age of children's literature wasn't just a golden era, it planted seeds that keep blooming, generation after generation. And who knows, maybe the stories kids are falling in love with today will be the classics of tomorrow. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed our little journey back to the Golden Age. So until next time, keep your beaks in those books and your heads in the clouds. This is Pistachio, signing off. Happy reading, everyone.